Last time we took a look at the architecture. Now let's look at the flow of the game. What's going to happen from the very beginning when they bring up the game to the very end when the game is finished, when they have completed their jigsaw puzzle. Let's take a look at that. Now most of the stuff we're going to be talking about here is on the UI side, but we will be discussing a little bit about the game objects and the table objects and the piece objects as we go along, and you'll see how that works. Obviously, we're going to have to initialize the game. That's basically initializing the screen. Make sure that all the variables are taken care of. The table is zeroed out. There's no pieces, no image selected, no cut selected, things like that. And then we're going to wait for user input. At this point, the user can only do one of two things. They can either hit the new game button or they can hit the exit game button. And if they hit the exit game button, well, you just exit, clean up the game, go bye-bye, and that's it. We're all done. So I'm not going to do anything more on the cleanup game. But now let's talk about the new game button. On the new game button, a lot of different things are happening here. First of all, we need to be able for them to select an image, select a cut, and select pieces. Now, what do those mean? Well, the image is fairly self-explanatory. In the examples I have here, I have 5 or 6 different images that one could select. And I've got a little dialog box that we will bring up for them to be able to select the image. Once they've selected the image, I needed them to select a cut. And the cut is basically what the shape of the jigsaw puzzle pieces will look like. And right now I have 2 different ones, a jigsaw, a very square jigsaw looking one, and a square one where it's just a plain square. The cuts can be defined in any which way, shape, or form you wish, and we'll be getting to that here shortly. Select the number of pieces is basically how many pieces you want to cut it into. And I've made it very simple, cutting into 3 different possibilities, a very small little one, a medium-sized one, and a much larger one, as we'll see here shortly. At this particular point in time, we're going to wait for the user input. And since we're in a dialog box here, there's only 2 different options. We can either cancel at this point, in which case we go back to the beginning screen, this screen, or they can hit the ready button, and that will close the dialog box up and get us back to the next screen, which is the ready screen. When the ready screen comes up, it's going to tell the table hey, table, I need you to cut the pieces. I need you to cut the pieces for this particular image, given this particular cut and this number of pieces. Then I need you to shuffle the pieces. And once you shuffle the pieces, I need you to display the jigsaw puzzle. So the game at that point is going to tell the table, the table tells the game I'm ready to go. The game then tells the UI, hey, UI, I need you to display the puzzle. And it's going to display the puzzle. At that point, it's going to wait for the user to input. And there's 4 different options. They could cancel the game, which basically means, okay, I really didn't want to have this image. I don't want to really deal with it right now. But I like the looks of the home screen, so I'm going to go back to the home screen. So then it will go back to this particular beginning screen. Second, they can also click on New Game. And that basically says, I don't want to do anything. I just want to create a completely new game. I don't like the puzzle I've selected. I don't like the cut. I don't like the number of pieces. Let me select something new. Which in that case means they will get to this particular screen. They can also hit Exit Game, in which case they say, all right, I'm done. The dog just puked all over the carpet. I've got to go clean it up, so I'm just going to exit the game. In which, of course, that means they'll get to this particular screen that we've already gone through. But what we really want to take a look at here is the Start Game. And that Start Game is the section that we actually physically start the game. So let's take a look at the flow for the Start Game. When we do the start game, it's going to reset all the game parameters, start the clock, start the number of moves, and then actually play the game. And when we play the game, this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. Basically, we're in an endless loop with this game, because the idea here is that the UI is going to be able to move all the different pieces. And as these pieces get moved, pieces are going to become connected. And once they become connected, we need to determine whether we have finished the game or not. Once we have finished the game, then, of course, the game is finished, and we're all completely done. We'll go to somewhere else. But the one thing I want to draw your attention to here is that there is what we call a game interruption event. And that basically means that as they are moving all the different pieces, they can click on one of the option buttons at the very top of the screen. And let's take a look at what those particular option buttons are. We have 4 different options when the interrupt can occur there. They can either cancel the game, in which case they go back to the beginning. They can click on New Game, in which they can the new game, or they can click on exit game, which will exit the current game. And this will obviously stop the current puzzle, reset all the parameters, and get us back to the screens we've seen before. But the big thing here is that they can also pause the game. And when they pause the game, it's very simple. They will pause the puzzle. The game will basically say, okay, UI, you can't do anything anymore. I won't accept any more mouse moves. Clock on the timer, on the statistics. Don't, stop. Don't do anything else. And then it's going to wait for more user input, in which case they now have 5 different options. They can cancel the game, which will, of course, get back to the begin screen. They can do the new game again, which completely eliminates the game. They can do an exit game, which, of course, exits the game. Or they can click on resume. And of course, I said there was 5 different options. There was actually 4 different options, but hey, that's the way it goes. Or they can resume the game. And when they resume the puzzle, the clock starts back. The game tells the UI that it can now accept different mouse moves, and we get back to this point. We're playing the game. But eventually, all the connections will be made, all the pieces will be connected up, and the table will signify to the game that the game has ended, in which case we go to the finish screen. And the finish screen is very, very simple. We just finished a UI, a little congratulatory, something like that. They can click on 3 options: new game, which goes to new game, continue, which goes to begin, or exit game, which exits the game completely. Next time we'll cover how connections are made with the different pieces. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel to view more videos. Click on the like button on this video and visit us at virtuoid.com. Also, support us on Patreon, where you can get access to member-only videos. Links are down below. Again, thank you very much for watching, and keep on coding.